You're worried about a recession. That's why you're watching this video. I've got the 3 places you can go, the 3 areas you can focus on to continue to grow your sales during a recession or even in the worst possible economy. Join me on this episode of the Dave Lorenzo Daily to find out how to survive a recession. Hi, it's Dave Lorenzo. Welcome back. This is the Dave Lorenzo Daily, and each day we come to you with tips on growing your revenue. That's right, we come to you every day with sales strategy. And today we're talking about how to grow your revenue, how to sell in a recession. And if you look at the date that I'm making this video, you are probably thinking to yourself, why is this guy talking about a recession? Things are booming. But there are signs on the horizon that a big-time recession is coming, and you need to be prepared for it. Maybe you've discovered this video during a recession, in which case you're really going to need the 3 specific areas I'm going to tell you to focus on in order to keep your sales growth happening in spite of really bad economic conditions. Before we get into that, I want to remind you that we're here every day with a different sales strategy designed to help you grow your revenue. And in order to make sure you don't miss anything, I want you to subscribe. Hit the red subscribe button, and the little bell next to the subscribe button is the notification bell. Turn that notification bell on, and you will be informed when we upload a new video. You'll also be informed when we go live, so you can participate and ask questions and make comments during our live sessions. I really appreciate you being here, and I want you to remain part of the Dave Lorenzo Daily family, so please subscribe. Hit the red button right there. Okay, let's talk about the 3 areas where I want you to focus in a recession or to prepare for a recession so that you can win, so that you can continue to grow your revenue regardless of the economic conditions. The first area I want you to focus is on the high-end market. It's no surprise that I am a big fan of targeting the affluent. I'm also a big fan of big ticket, long sales cycle, business-to-business sales. In a recession, those folks continue to spend. Now, when I say affluent consumers, I mean people who have a net worth of $10 million or more. If you look at previous recessions, those folks were impacted, but they weren't impacted as dramatically as folks who are counting on their paycheck on a day-to-day basis to survive. If you have a net worth of $20 million and a recession hits and you lose 10% of your net worth, you lose $2 million. That's no small chunk of change. But you still have a net worth of $18 million, still have a net worth of $18 million that you can apply toward your own personal growth strategy. This is if you're a high net worth individual. So you're still going to buy things that have a significant return on investment or that help you solve problems or help you achieve a goal. If you have a net worth of, say, $100,000 and you lose 20% of your net worth, that's $20,000. That's a big deal to someone who has a net worth of $100,000. Or if you have a negative net worth and you're living on credit cards like 85 to 90% of the United States population, and you get hit by a recession and you lose your job, you're in big trouble. You're definitely not buying products or services at all. You're just existing to survive. So I want you to focus on the high-end market. If you're in consumer sales, focus on high net worth individuals, individuals with a net worth in excess of 10 or even better, $20 million. If you're in business-to-business sales, I want you to focus on typically the longer sales cycle activities. If you sell private jets, for example, to fleet managers at Fortune 100 companies, your sales cycle is probably going to be 18 months or longer. If you focus right now on developing relationships and coveting those relationships and demonstrating value over time, you will be able to continue through the recession because those folks are not going to stop purchasing those high ticket, long sales cycle items just because the economy has a setback. If it's a short recession, your sales cycle will carry you through the entire recession. If it's a long recession, those folks will probably look to extend the contracts, but they won't cancel them because they know they're still going to need those products, those services at the end of the recession. The final point is, if you sell services and your services are typically long sales cycle services like consulting, I need you to be really hyper-focused on return on investment and value. The demonstration of value will carry you through a recession. I started my own company in 2008, and in 2008, everything went to hell in November. The economy fell off a cliff. Every sector just about was affected. I focused on the value I delivered and the return on investment I delivered, and I focused on high-end consumers, and I focused on those who targeted high-end consumers. I also focused on big-ticket consulting. And you know what? Those two sectors carried me through very nicely. I thrived during the worst recessions since the Great Depression. So I want you focused on those areas as well. That's your first tip on how to get through a recession. Focus on the high end in both B2B and business to consumer. The second tip is look for industry diversity in your client mix. Right now today, I want you to look at your client mix. And if you have more than 10% of your business in any one industry sector, I want you to diversify. You should have a minimum of 10 different industry sectors that your business comes from. So if you focus on attracting business from people in real estate, you should also focus on attracting business from people in oil and gas, other energy. Focus on attracting business from pharmaceutical companies. Focus on attracting business from other healthcare sector companies. Focus on attracting business from aviation companies. I don't want any more than 10% of your business coming from any one industry sector, because that diversity will be your hedge against the recession. And you can pivot quickly to the sectors within which there is growth. Establish at minimum at least 10 different industry sectors in your business. You will come through a recession just fine. The third element of your recession survival guide, the way to grow your sales during a recession, is geographic diversity. Recessions do not hit every geography equally. You need to have clients across all geographic sectors, north, south, east, west, domestic and international, in order to survive a recession. You'll find that the recession strikes like a wave and it moves from one geography to the next, but some geographies are hit harder than others. So source your clients outside of your local market. If you're a local business, let's say you're a dry cleaner or you're a bakery, figure out a way to do business online and sell things to people in other parts of the country. You need to insulate yourself from locally deep recessionary pockets. You may be hit hard because let's say you live in Michigan and the auto market falls off a cliff like it did in 2009, 2010. People are going to be out of work. You own a bakery. Folks are not going to be buying bagels from you during a recession. They're going to be buying their toast at the local grocery store, and they're going to make their toast at home. What you need to be able to do is you need to be able to sell products online that people will buy from all over the country, if not all over the world. So focusing your business on an online presence is critical right now and all the way through the recession so that you have geographic diversity, and that will carry you through. So these three areas are the three areas that will carry you through. Focus on high end, whether it's consumer or B2B. Focus on industry diversity. Work across all different industry sectors, and focus on geographic diversity. That's how you survive and thrive in a recession and keep your sales growing. Keep your revenue on the increase, even though you're in a difficult recessionary time. This is going to be a very difficult time for everyone, but you will be the person who everyone looks to, who grows and outpaces your industry and everyone in your geography during the difficult time of the recession. Don't wait. Act on these tips right now, and you will grow accordingly. If you're stuck and you're wondering how to diversify, or you want to prepare more thoroughly, I'm the person you should call. Reach out to me. My telephone number is 888-444-5150, 888-444-5150. I helped thousands of people survive and thrive through the last recession, and I want to do the same for you. I'm Dave Lorenzo, and until tomorrow, I hope you do this and sell more. We'll see you right back here tomorrow on the Dave Lorenzo Daily.